Hey everybody, this is Gus from Askewed Reviews, and I'm doing a new episode of Creature Madness. Now, just in case you're not aware of what Creature Madness is, this was a creation of my friend Matthew over at Horror Madness. What he did is he brought a bunch of his friends together to kind of make a movie club, and so each time we watch a creature feature, all of us watching the same one, then each of us does our own review on the film. Now, aside from myself and Matthew, the other members of this club are Jen, Ashley, Amariah, Ryan, and Bambi. And this time around, it was actually Matthew who chose what movie we were watching. And he chose the 1990 film Graveyard Shift, directed by Ralph S. Singleton. This is also based off of a Stephen King short story. So let me tell you about the concept for this film. We have our main character of John Hall. Now, he's a bit of a drifter and kind of goes from town to town and is just looking for work while he's currently in this town. Now, one place that seems to continue to need new employees is the textile mill in town. So John goes there to apply for the job and meets the foreman, Warwick, who is definitely quite a bit of an a-hole and not that great of a person in general, but he is willing to pay him and give him a job. John gets hired on as the man who has to work the picker. Now, this is actually a graveyard shift, as the machine will overheat during the day, so it has to be done at night. Now, aside from their terrible boss and the overbearing heat, everyone working at this textile mill also has to deal with an overabundance of rats. Now, they do at least have an exterminator who's working on clearing them out, but he pretty much has to work around the clock due to the fact of how many there are. By the way, this exterminator is played by Brad Dourif, who you probably know as the voice of Chucky in most of the Child's Play films. To make sure everything is up to code, though, Warwick finds out that he has to clean up the basement of the mill. So he puts together a whole team of people that will still continue to work the graveyard shift and clean out this basement. Now, if all of the other issues I mentioned earlier were not enough to make this job sound terrible, there's one additional problem. Within this basement is a massive creature that is now trying to attack and kill everyone at this textile mill. So when it comes to this film, I do enjoy it, and it does have a special place in my heart because I remember watching it a whole bunch when I was much younger. But at the same time, watching it again now, the story isn't that great. It is entertaining, and there's a really cool monster and some great practical effects, but it's not that great. The short story, though, I do remember enjoying that one quite a bit. I'd probably say my biggest issue with the film is that there's zero connection to these characters. We don't get to know them at all, we don't get to feel for them. So when the terrible stuff happens, it's just kind of like, well, okay, cool. Now, if you haven't seen this one before, though, I definitely recommend at least checking this out once. For me, on my scale, I'm giving Graveyard Shift a 3 out of 5. And if you'd like to watch this one, it is currently streaming for free on Pluto. Now it's time in my version of Creature Madness, where I go over the creature itself a little bit more in detail. This time around, we have this horrifying giant thing that is basically a big mutated bat. It's the size of a bear, but it also has a lot of resemblances to a rat. Like it has the very long, naked tail, it has kind of similar features in the face, but it very much is just a giant bat that never really flies. We never get to see it fly, even though it does have these big wings. It mainly just crawls, swims apparently, and kind of hangs upside down. Something else I was thinking about while rewatching this, I don't know if it's actually ever explained in the film, but is there more than one of these creatures? Or is it just one and it's kind of just getting around everywhere? The ending at least seemed to allude that when that one got taken out, that the danger was over. So I assume that it's just the one, but it definitely could be multiples of these creatures that are in that subterranean area. Well, yeah, if you feel like you know better or have a better idea of what the answer is for this, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creature Madness. If you'd like to see what everyone else does on their videos, just check out the hashtag Creature Madness.